Tonight on AFN Korea Nightly News, service members get help PCSing with their pets. And later, airmen at Osan train for an exercise. These stories and more coming up on your Frontline Network News. Welcome to this edition of AFN Korea Nightly News, broadcasting from our headquarters in Seoul. I'm Specialist Ryan Harris. Planning for a PCS takes months of preparation and coordination with several base agencies. Air Force Sergeant Joy Meek takes us to the Osan Veterinary Clinic for a look at how they help pet owners increase their chances of a smooth move with their furry family members.
At any given time, the staff at Osan's vet clinic can be found helping pets prepare for their PCS.
It honestly depends on the country because Japan and Hawaii and England have the strictest requirements as far as getting a pet into that country. Most people need to plan at least 6 months ahead of time if they're going to go to those three particular locations.
No matter where you're going, there's still planning involved.
If you're going to the United States, basically all you need is an up-to-date rabies vaccine plus a health certificate. But that health certificate has to be done within 10 days of the day that you're going to travel.
But getting a health certificate takes time.
People think that they don't need to bring their pet in for us to examine it to give them a health certificate. We do run into that a lot of times. But also people just don't realize that they need at least 10 days if they're going to the States. They'll call us the day before or even the day of that they leave and ask to come in to get a health certificate, which, you know, creates problems for us if we already have things scheduled. So
making sure your pet travels with you starts with you.
They just need to plan ahead. Planning ahead is absolutely the most important thing.
By contacting the vet clinic once you get your assignment notification, you increase your chances of having your pet fly with you to your next duty station. Air Force Sergeant Joy Meek, Osan Air Base, Korea.
Most soldiers serving in Iraq and Afghanistan are familiar with the National Training Center at Fort Irwin, California. This facility improves the force and preparation for success in the global war on terrorism and future joint battlefields. The Republic of Korea has their own version of this facility, the Korean Combat Training Center. In our next story, Army Sergeant Rob Frazier shows us how U.S. and ROK soldiers are using the KCTC to learn from each other.
Inside this room sits many of the top senior enlisted personnel from the U.S. and Republic of Korea. This is the first time both sides are together to witness ROK soldiers train force on force with one another.
Yeah, today was a great opportunity to bring a bunch of command sergeant majors and sergeant majors from the 8th Army to see some of the training that they conduct down here at the KCTC.
To show the progress being made by the ROK Army at the KCTC, information videos play documenting the role of ROK soldiers during combat, weapons capabilities, and how this facility and its training personnel are increasing their soldiers' skills on the battlefield. Following the briefing, leaders step outside and begin to observe, just as the first shots ring out. This simulation pits the good guys, ROK soldiers, against the bad guys, who are playing the role of opposing forces or OP4. During their maneuvering, the ROK soldiers perform 3 to 5 second rushes and move to provide suppressive fire to help their battle buddies advance as well. The ROK Sergeant Major of the Army, Yoon Jung-gi, is also observing the training scenario unfold and says he has high hopes for the success of this mission and more like it in the future.
I hope we can have this type of meaningful event more often, not just once.
ROK soldiers continue bounding, moving quickly as a team to maintain control of the battlefield. Strategic planning and precise movements place them in position to overtake the enemy, and before long, the firing halts and victory is in hand.
Today has helped foster some great thoughts, some great ideas on how to go on a way ahead for making an opportunity or having an opportunity to train jointly in a combined manner with our ROK counterparts.
I'm Army Sergeant Rob Frazier reporting from KCTC, Korea.
Coming up, a group of softball players get to try out for the All-Army team. Stay with us.
This is your AFN Korea weather forecast for Thursday, July 24th. At Daegu, expect rain showers with a high of 89 and a low of 75. Friday, expect more rain showers. At Kungsan, expect rain showers with a high of 85 and a low of 73. Friday, expect more rain. At Osan, expect rain showers with a high of 82 and a low of 73. Friday, expect more rain showers. At Seoul, expect rain showers with a high of 83 and a low of 73. Friday, expect more rain. And at Camp Casey, expect rain showers with a high of 80 and a low of 70. Friday, expect more rain. This AFN Korea weather forecast has been brought to you by your 607th Weather Squadron.
Training is a part of the day-to-day operations for most members of the military, and sometimes more so for service members in Korea. Airman Kevin Kite tells us about training in Osan that is focusing on each airman's ability to survive and operate.
The Osan Theater recently hosted hundreds of airmen preparing for their first major exercise at Osan. This ability to survive and operate, or ATSO training, gives them basic but critical information about both their exercise and wartime missions.
Once that's on, make sure that the little tab right there, the 101 are lined up.
6 stations set up around the theater prepare the airmen for the various tasks they'll face during an exercise.
Because we are so forwardly deployed, it gives us a better opportunity, and we are able to hone these stations to help the airmen really understand what they're supposed to do with these individual tasks that are important during wartime.
Safe and clear.
In addition to the ATSO rodeo, newcomers must also attend a base readiness briefing, which in the past shared similar points of training.
So what we do now is we couple the ATSO rodeo guide with the briefing to, again, give the individuals as much information in as short a time as possible that will really benefit them in the long run.
Getting the airmen together and giving them the training they need is what the ATSO rodeo is all about, because today's exercise training could be tomorrow's real-world wartime requirement. Senior Airman Kevin Kite, Osan Air Base, Korea.
Kunsan Air Base will have an operational readiness inspection next spring, and that means months of regular week-long exercises for the Wolfpack. To help airmen get into exercise mode, the base held a Wolf War Day, which included briefings on how to survive and operate during exercise scenarios. Airman Camille Tarver tells us how the Wolf War Day helps keep the base mission ready.
The day started early. The entire base was recalled before the sun came up. Airmen spent this Wolf War Day wearing extra protective gear such as flak vests, Kevlar helmets, and a gas mask. Staff Sergeant Peter Rocky spent the day teaching the Wolfpack how to get through the upcoming Peninsula-wide Operational Readiness Exercise, or PNORE. The brief was mandatory for all Wolfpack members, and it only took him 11 sessions to get everyone up to speed.
Today we are enhancing the airmen's ability to survive and operate by refreshing them prior to the upcoming PNORE.
With the high summer turnover rate, many of the airmen are new to base, and that's one reason Kunsan has a Wolf War Day in between exercises. The briefings give airmen a glimpse at what an exercise at Kunsan is like, and they learn how to respond to scenarios quickly and safely.
You have something like that, you have a lot of chemical out there.
Across the base, the medical group supervised hands-on self-aid and buddy care sessions, where airmen were able to take off their gear and simulate the life-saving procedures they may see in the field.
And just letting them know some of the formalities of having an exercise here on the peninsula, and trying to get them to understand exactly how the next week would pan out.
The airmen will be able to fall back on this training to help get them through the upcoming PNORE, and also prepare for next year's Operational Readiness Inspection. I'm Airman Camille Tarver, Kunsan Air Base, Korea.
Now for a look at the exchange rate and gas prices at your local AP service station. Boy Scouts can earn over 100 different merit badges, including everything from art to wilderness survival. Also on the list of badges is one that requires Scouts to understand the basics of radio operations and communication. Army Sergeant Craig Rader introduces us to a group of Boy Scouts earning that badge, with a little help from ham radio operators around the globe.
We have some U.S. hams and Korean hams that are operating with the Boy Scouts today.
With help from a group of Boy Scouts, ham radio enthusiast Harry Rudolph is talking to a man in Kyoto, Japan. But he's not just making a courtesy call.
Yes, we're out here today with the Korean amateur radio operators, the American amateur radio operators, and the Boy Scouts. And we've got an event today primarily with the Boy Scouts where we have a merit badge workshop, and we're trying to get the Boy Scouts to achieve their radio merit badges.
The difference between reading about amateur radio versus actually using one was surprising to some, especially Life Scout Will Vancanet.
Well, it kind of surprised me at first when the first time I did it that so many people actually are communicating in English, like, because I thought that they would be. So it's really... That surprised me.
When amateur radio operators make contact, they log the call letters and mark on a map the locations of everyone they speak with. They sometimes exchange postcards containing their call sign and home location.
First of all, we talk to people all over the world. So far today, many of the stations we're talking to are in Japan, but over the weekend here we expect to talk to people in the U.S., Europe, Africa, all over the world.
And the next time these scouts make a call over their ham radios, they just might have something new to talk about, their latest merit badge. Army Sergeant Craig Rader, Yongsan, Korea.
The KC Warrior women's softball team is in first place in the Post Women's Softball League. The Sluggers have only lost one game, but now 4 players from the KC Warriors will compete to play for another team. In our next story, specialist Wyatt Harper takes us to Camp Casey to find out where these players could end up.
4 players from the KC Warriors have been selected to attend the All-Army softball team tryouts. This is the highest number of first-time applicants to be invited from one team ever. Captain Lauren Shaw, one of the 4 players selected, says this team is something she's pursued for a long time.
It's awesome. It's been something I've wanted since high school, actually. I went to the military academy, and so I knew I was going to the Army afterwards. And knowing that there is an All-Army team after graduation, it just gave me something to look forward to.
The players had to fill out an online application, get it approved by their unit commander and the camp sports director, then be invited to the tryout camp. Now that they have the invitation, they'll compete against other soldiers throughout the Army. If they make the cut, they'll put on the black and gold jerseys and compete in the Armed Forces Women's Softball Championship at Naval Air Station, Pensacola, Florida. After that, they could be selected for the Amateur Softball Association National Championships in Oklahoma City. Another All-Army team hopeful, Private First Class Jeralea Showman, explains why she wants to make the team.
I love softball. The competitiveness of it is what drives me. I can't wait for Monday to turn into Friday so I can play ball. And to take it to another level is really just a huge deal to me, to be able to represent the Army as far as softball goes.
These KC Warriors have so far represented the Area 1 soldiers well, and getting selected to try out for the All-Army team is just one more accomplishment for these phenomenal softball players. I'm Specialist Wyatt Harper, Camp Casey, Korea.
That's the news for this evening. Tune into AFN the Eagle or Thunder AM for music, news, and information for your area. You can also check us out on the web at afnkorea.net. Thanks for watching your Frontline Network News. I'm Specialist Ryan Harris. Have a great night.
puddle of mud. We know it's hard being away from your friends and families, and back home you are truly missed. Thank you for your sacrifices and for preserving freedom around the world. So be safe and come home soon, and remember, America supports you.